The U.S. Supreme Court is ordering the Trump administration to bring back a man who was mistakenly deported to a prison in El Salvador. A 2019 court order protected Abrego Garcia from deportation because it would have put his life in jeopardy. The Trump administration accused Garcia of being in a gang, and he was brought into ICE custody before being sent out of the country. A Justice Department lawyer who has since been suspended testified that Garcia should not have been deported. Since those remarks, the White House said it's not capable of bringing Garcia back, but Supreme Court justices are giving the DOJ until midnight on Monday to bring him back. Our chief legal analyst, Cleve Rhodes, joins us now. And why is the Supreme Court right now ordering Garcia's return?
Well, they're ordering his return. And let's be clear, this is a unanimous decision. This was an emergency appeal from the district court's decision that Supreme Court granted access to listening to hearing in this case, and unanimously they agreed that they need to send it back. Now, there's a couple of things. They agreed in part and disagreed in part, specifically because the time frame that the original judge had put on there for him to be returned and for them to come and address the answers had already expired. And so Justice Sotomayor, who wrote this statement for the court, addressed that. But there's a couple of things in here where we're talking about, specifically two words: effectuate and facilitate. Facilitate, I think, is where the court took problems. Effectuate, they were okay with, but that facilitate is the problem where I think they're going to have to work with them. That effectuate, they were saying, look, you're trying to force the President of the United States, the executive branch, to do something. And Justice Sotomayor says here that you have to be cognizant and be deferential to the office of the executive. So this is the part that I like, that the court was unanimous. Yeah. I like that the fact that she recognized that there is an inherent right within the executive of handling foreign negotiation policies. But the court was clear that this isn't the case, that this person is an American citizen. I mean, is here under a protected situation. And because they're here in a protected situation, that they should be afforded the opportunity to come back.
There's another big question here about part of this. They're not able to find him, at least as of yet. How much does that, for lack of better words, judges, when they hear that, they are not happy about information like that? I would assume the Supreme Court of the United States will probably be feeling the same way.
Well, one of the portions of the ruling was that this would go back to the U.S. District Court judge. So the U.S. District Court judge, they had the hearing today. She talked about, well, how do you guys not know where he's at? I need answers. I need responses. And it's kind of a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, you have Pam Bondi telling folks of her team that you have to vigorously and zealously represent the United States. But on the other hand, if they're standing in court saying we have no answers, Your Honor, she's not happy with that. So now the attorneys are put in the ethical dilemma where, what do I say and how do I deal with, responding to the court? And so there were a number of times the judge was like, well, I need an answer. I need something. I need a response. Can you tell me anything? And they were like, we don't have anything, Your Honor. That hearing was pretty comical, I would say, to say the least. The Supreme Court, when you're looking at their overall argument, it's, did you give this person notice? Did they have prompt opportunity to have an informal review? And the last thing I like that Justice Sotomayor said, in the proceeding on remand, the district court should continue to ensure that the government lives up to its obligations to follow the law. I don't know the last time I read an order from a judge that was telling the government to follow the law.
What happens if they are not able to bring him back? Or what if they are not able to meet this deadline?
If they're not able to facilitate, right? If they aren't able to facilitate, push things in place to ensure that he comes back, the judge could and should put them in contempt, to hold them in contempt for failing to follow a judicial order. That failure to follow judicial order can now trigger a show cause. You don't come to that show cause, now folks can be put in jail. There are a number of things that could happen. Typically, if someone fails to follow an order, that's what would happen. This is not a typical situation, because you're talking about branches of the government trying to tell other branches of the government what to do. Kind of like our government's supposed to work, but now we're seeing it play out in real time.
And it's going to be very interesting to see what happens over the next few days. Cleve Rhodes, thanks so much.